Wait, start shaking. All right, all right. Welcome back, everybody. It's Queen's Realm Pocket. Did you miss me? Did you miss me? I missed y'all a little bit. A little bit. But we got life things happening right now. But we are live. Welcome back to Queen's Realm Podcast. I have my my buddy over here, my friend over here. You see, Mr. Executive L. Okay. And today it's a much requested episode from anybody who's been watching and following me. We finally have made it to part two of Smashing versus Making Love. And if you have not seen part one, you need to stop this right now. Stop watching this. Go all the way back to August of 2020 and click on the very first episode of this podcast because that's what we're talking about, Smashing versus Making Love. Is there a difference? What's the difference? Why is there a difference? And I'm going to run down, you know, what I said, a little bit of what I said, because we have a male perspective this time, and it was two ladies the first time. So basically, for me, yes, there's a difference between smashing and making love. I feel like making love is more personal, and smashing is carnal. It's it is what it is. Can you love smashing? Yes, but is that making love? No. But it gets a little deeper than that. So, Sir Elgin, we're going to ask you, in your opinion, uh, is there a difference between smashing and making love?
Um, First answer is yes, absolutely.
First
There's
answer. Okay.
absolutely a difference.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it just depends on your personality, though.
Mm.
Some people they they switch up well, um,
Mm.
and it could kind of flow together. You could be in making love 2 minutes into it, and then by the 5 minute mark, you on some smashing type vibes because it's a little bit more aggressive, rock and rugged.
5 minutes in, so he got a turntable. Okay. Okay, so because you said that, I was writing down a question. Do you feel like you can make love to somebody that you're not in love with and or not in a relationship with?
Absolutely, it's a dangerous game, but you could do it.
He said it's dangerous.
It's a
Don't do
dangerous
that.
game, but you
Ah,
could do it.
that's. I would advise against that.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
dangerous game for a reason because you're gonna get somebody turned out,
Hmm.
and they're gonna think they're in love, but they just in love with what's happening.
Yeah.
But does that make it not making love then? It's still making love. You're just not in love with the person. You're just in love with the action.
I mean, I think the term making love is some people when they use it, they feel like it's meant to describe you being in love with the person that you actually having physical intercourse with or
Mm,
sex, if you want to word it.
mm,
Um, but I think that a part of making love is just the act of sex that is the softer, tender,
mm,
more intentional parts of the act. That's more or less what people would describe making love. So that's why I do feel like you can make love to somebody that you're not in love with. I mean,
mm,
anybody can be intentional in the bedroom. Anybody can, if they want to, or if they possess the skills to, they can slow it down. They can be
mm.
very sensual, very intentional. Um, it doesn't really, you don't have to be in love with somebody to want to do that with them.
Mm-hmm. So, if you got somebody that you're just smashing, y'all only have one
Don't
one
be out
type.
there with love. Don't do it.
I didn't even finish. I didn't even finish the question because that's not where I was going, but it is
Oh,
what
okay.
it
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Finish your question. I
That you
apologize.
can't be in there making love. If you got somebody that you just smashing right,
Hmm.
do you only smash just the one way just because you don't want it to be intimate? Is it never intimate because you just smash it? I'm not saying that y'all making love, but there's never no intimate. Like, are there rules and certain things that's definitively separated from smashing from making love? Like, we just smashing, don't kiss me. That type of stuff.
I think it depends on person per person.
Mhm.
I think some people are physical beings and they um they can do all those things and not per se blur the lines when it comes to emotions. But I think that for some people, they they are tied to certain physical acts, so they don't do that act because they know that their emotions or their heart is tied
Mhm.
to that
Mhm.
specific physical act. So,
Mhm.
like you said, some people may be kissers, and that's one of their ways that they show love and receive love. So they may say that, they may say, "Hey, I can't kiss you if we just smash and whatever we do." But I also think that you just got to know yourself, you know.
Yeah.
Um, and when it comes to smashing, making love, know your limits and and
Mhm.
be,
Mhm.
be okay with what that is. If you're not in a making love situation, you just don't need to be playing around like that. You don't need to be testing the waters like that.
What is a making love? Because listen, sir, you're taking the thoughts right out of my head. What is a making love situation?
I mean, making love situation is, you know, commitment, serious relationship type thing.
Mhm.
Um,
The C word is the
yeah,
C word. It's
yeah.
commitment. So now, once you get into relationships, that's another question that I had for everybody, for people. Y'all comment or whatever whenever y'all watch this. When you're in a relationship, do you want to just smash or make love? Because people kept asking, like, once you get in a relationship, you said, no, when I'm in a relationship, I want both of them. Both of them. Both of them. Maybe one more than the other, but that ain't none of y'all business because I'm not in a relationship with none of y'all niggas. So listen here. If you want to find out which one, you gonna have to wait to find out which one if you get a chance to find out which one. I'm just saying. That
Man,
ain't none of y'all business. But both of them, because every, how do I say this without telling too much of my business? A lot of people, I'm not even gonna put myself in it. A lot of people would view the making love part as like the vanilla sex. That it's the regular, you do regular things. It's soft and it's sweet, and you do regular things.
hmm.
That's it. That's all y'all do when y'all make this regular things. I'm not regular. I'm just gonna leave that. I'm just gonna
You ain't no regular.
I'm not regular. So we're not gonna do that. It just
Okay.
I'm gonna leave that at that because y'all know see. Y'all be wanting y'all don't ever leave comments y'all inbox me personally. No, leave a comment because leave a comment. Don't ask me personally.
Be bold with it. Don't be. Well, I guess be boxing is bold too. But
Let
nah,
everybody see you asking me these
yeah, put
questions.
yourself on out there.
Let's
You
go
you want
ahead.
to be asking all these questions? Put yourself on out there.
You don't want nobody to know y'all freaks. That's a whole nother episode coming soon because we're starting, by the way. Let me let everybody know now. This is the first episode in the series on intercourse and relations. We're gonna do sexual health and all that too, but we need to talk about some things because there's a lot of things people don't. What the lady be saying on TikTok, you have misconstrued about sex because y'all slow a little bit. Some of y'all slow a little bit. I'm just a tiny bit. All right. So with the smashing and making love, do you feel like because I asked we me and the bestie asked each other this on the other episode. You can make love to somebody that you're not in love with,
Mm,
nor love, but we advise against that.
yeah.
Why? Besides the catching feelings part, what is another reason why you feel like people should not make love to people they're not in love with? Or they don't have that C word with, that commitment.
Um,
That commitment.
I say that it's just like people don't be in tune with their feelings and their emotions. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and they start feeling a way that it's not warranted of the relationship, of the nature of the relationship. So like
Mm-hmm.
it's just like somebody catching feelings, right?
Mm-hmm.
So someone catching feelings and the dynamic of the relationship doesn't line up with you catching feelings.
Mm-hmm.
So per se, you hanging out with somebody, y'all vibing. Um, Most of the interactions are evening interactions, um, per se, behind closed doors, or
Mm-hmm.
some along the lines of that adult smashing interactions. I mean,
Yeah, you
so
call them interactions. We was calling them transactions. Same
interactions,
thing.
transactions,
Same thing.
however you want to word it, but I think
Put
like,
something in, something comes out. Never mind.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so I think that sometimes people allow what happens inside of those interactions
Literally.
to be misconstrued. So that's when you get to the point where you don't call feelings, and it's like, okay, what do I do with this now?
Yeah. And then you stuck there. What do I do with this now? Nothing. And then it comes a point where I want to say this. We use the term turned out a lot up here in Michigan in the north. I don't know what they call it down there. And what I mean by that when I said it is it's another way of saying whip, but you're not really whipped. It's just another term we use is we freak somebody out. So you show them something, they experience something they never thought it
I've
was
been with that
possible,
before. Yeah,
and they experience with you. So now they think that because they experience all this new stuff with you, they
that you
supposed
want.
to be. No, baby,
I just
let
put
me
that
stop
thing on you,
using
baby.
those
That's it.
pronouns. That person just may be good at
That
what
thing, just
they
put that
do.
thing on you, man. That's
That
it.
thing be thangin'. The thing be thangin', and it thanged on you, and now you think y'all are something. See the thing, and now you think you're something. That's
And
no,
don't worry about that.
they might just be good at what they do. Is some people out here who are pleasers, and the part of the where the smashing and making love I think is muddled is because you might end up with a pleaser. They like pleasing, so they're gonna keep doing. The only
They're gonna
time they
keep
please
pleasing you.
though is in the
Yeah,
physical transaction, but you're not catching that part. So they pleasing you because they like pleasing. It gets them off. You think it's about you, but it's really still about them. So you think it's something, y'all think y'all are something, and it's again they're just good at what they do, or they know how to do what they do with when they do it well. That's it. It's not about you. You're there. You help,
true.
but so you help. That was that was petty to say, but I'm just saying you're there,
You're a
and
part of it.
you're a part of
They're not alone.
it. I mean, you're in it together,
Yeah,
but
you
at
in
the
it to
end of
win
the
it, bro.
day, that's the only time you can refer to yourselves as together because you're in that action together. That'll mean you are together.
Yeah,
Because it feels really good. And it's another thing. I don't know who I'm talking to. I ain't even gonna say ladies or men. Just because it feels really good, you good at it, they may be good at it, y'all good at it together. Don't mean shit. Except for y'all good at that together. Y'all ain't never did anything else together. So you thought you
y'all ain't never took a walk together.
uh,
Y'all ain't never ate no food together.
uh, y'all vampires. Y'all ain't never seen daylight together before or after daylight savings time.
Listen,
So you think you thought you's a
y'all,
night fighter, honey.
y'all ain't even Netflix together.
Y'all don't even do any. There is nothing that happens before the sex. Y'all just You don't even know what this person's living room look like if you think real good because y'all just walk past all the furniture to the bedroom. You don't. You just if
Don't
you've
you
been
know
in
they
their house. Some of y'all ain't even been in people's houses. You ain't. Y'all meet in hotel. You don't even know where people live. You don't know their address. And
no,
I don't want to down any woman or any man because y'all grown, y'all do what y'all want to do. But how y'all giving away parts of yourself and you don't know nobody's physical address? You don't. You don't what if
you
something
want
happened to
to
you?
be knowing the person's last name. That's what be killing me.
The government name. You just
Yeah, that TJ.
what TJ stands for. You don't even know. It could you think it's Tyrone Jr. It could be Timothy. You have no clue. You know.
Zero clue.
And another thing, I want to bring this up because I just got on TikTok because I didn't care, but I be on there laughing my ass off. This thing called sneaky links.
Oh Lord, it's the word is just
First of all, I
way
don't
out.
even like how y'all put them two words together. Then y'all want to be on the internet telling people about your sneaky links.
The links.
It's
Yeah,
not a sneaky link if
it's
everybody know. Like, no,
no.
no. You're not even supposed to know I have a sneaky link. You know, no, nobody's supposed to know. That's why it's a sneaky link. Y'all are in a situationship if you're telling everybody.
Thank you.
You might, or you the side bitch, or the side nigga, or
Or some
something. But that's not a sneaky link. You're not a sneaky link if people know that.
exactly.
No, you're
But see,
informing.
somebody
You the ops. You the ops now. The kid said if you tell everybody your sneaky link is. And I don't condone side chicken or sneaky links if y'all in a relationship. And another thing, if you're single, you don't have sneaky links. You have grown up interactions with folk. Ain't nothing sneaky. You just you grown. You do what grown folks do. You be grown folking. It's not a sneaky link. Stop.
but you know
You're
why some people call it sneaky link though, right? Because
because it's somebody they should have no business sneaking with.
I had this conversation with a younger gentleman, and I was just like, what's up with the whole, sneaky link, whatever, like, so what's the thought process behind it? And he was like, man, how like they used to say back in the day, like everything look good but her face, and I was like, yeah, man, I remember that. And so basically the term quote unquote sneakily came about is because it's somebody that you would not want others to know that you are having relations with,
You shouldn't be
'cause they may
smashing.
not be, they may not be accepted by your friends. Their physical appearance may not be accepted, but they good at what they do,
Let me
they
tell you
good at
something.
what they do.
Let me tell you something right now. Because I feel a certain way about myself. So this don't apply to me as far as I'm concerned. But if somebody can accept some dick and accept some vagina, you can
Hmm.
accept what I look like outside of this bedroom. Because how you let somebody hide you letting them hide your face, but they hiding in your nappy dugout at night. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not. No, because I know women do it too. I know women do it too. I'm a lady. I have a group chat with my friends. We talk about things and we say things. And I know, and what I say is, you like it, I love it, sis. You don't ever tell your, but I got some friends who don't hold no bars. They're like, you like him? You, you like him. Don't worry about what I like. You don't gotta like it. I just gotta like it. But I'm not gonna be ashamed. Mm-mm. Now
Yeah,
I
I
know.
think that's more. I think that's more for the men though. Not saying like women don't do that, because you know, I know some females that they might get down with a dude, but they ain't trying to date him just because they don't think like he would be accepted. Something about him won't be accepted
Mm.
with her friends or her family. But they'll let him get some. So, but I think more or less, from the appearance standpoint, it might be geared more towards the men. But I think like some women do it too though.
Women do it too. We just. You won't ever know. Like you would never know. Like it's we if we feel that type of way that we feel like, hey, we shouldn't have been talking to that person. We shouldn't have smashed. You would never know. Another thing I want to bring up. Uh, because I'm a big girl. I know I'm a big girl. I don't give a fuck who know I'm a big girl because I like me and I ain't found. I like what that lady say on Friday afternoon. Bitch, I know somebody who like it. I know a couple somebody who like it anyway. I ain't have a problem because of weight. But we not gonna smash big girls in private and act like we don't like them in public. We don't do that here. We don't do that here. We don't do that
Yeah,
here.
that's
We don't do that here. You understand me? We're not gonna do that with me. The lies they tell. And because it's always um this off topic, but it ain't off topic because we still talking about sex is don't fetishize the big girl either, people. Don't be like big. I like to sleep with big. Don't ever tell one of us that because they're gonna look at you like, gee, that's not a compliment.
yeah. The fuck?
That's the
What?
guaranteed way not to get some. I'm just saying, I'm not gonna ever tell you how to get any from me because I don't like y'all like that. Another thing, women and men, stop telling people what they need to do to smash because you tell them what they need to do to
And they
smash.
do exactly
They do
that.
exactly
They're
that. You're like,
more
oh my God,
than
they must
less.
love me. No, they don't. You
You
didn't
gave
make
me a
love because you
playbook.
told them what to do.
You gave me an open book test.
Let
How
them
they love
figure it
you?
out. Let it come out naturally. Because
How they love you?
I
Please.
don't, I'm not even going to say that on camera. Never mind. Let's move it on. I'm going to say this instead. There have been instances where you're talking to somebody and shit just come out naturally. Let it happen like that. You'd be like, oh, how did we get here? How did we even get to this conversation? Not that it's bad or anything, that you've grown into certain conversation with certain folk, and you're like, how did we get to this point? This is good, but I don't know how the fuck
Good
we
stuff.
got here. This is nice, but whoa, wait a minute. That 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 is what most women like. But I'm not going to tell you what to do. Figure it out
Yeah,
because I can give you an open book test and you could still fail.
this is true.
Been there, done that.
Yeah,
This
seen that.
this don't because I and for me this is when you smashing. Another difference between smashing and making love is what the point I was getting to is. I feel like there's more rules and regulations sometimes when you just smashing
Okay.
because you have to be blunt and to the point with some people like we're not doing this, we're not doing this. Don't ever at any point think that this is going to be more than this. Don't do this. Don't do that. Don't do that. I don't want to do all that. I just don't
So,
want to do all that.
so
I don't.
what's
Go
what's
ahead.
your
Huh?
top tree, as my boy Birdman would say, tree, my top
Hmm.
tree, don't do's if we just smash. Don't do this, don't do that, and don't do this.
Oh, I got mine. My number one, top three. I belong to me.
Okay.
Period. It does not matter how many times we smash. If we're just smashing, don't worry about who I'm talking to when I'm not talking to you. Don't worry about what I'm
Oh,
doing when
don't
I'm
be
not your
tripping.
person. My business is my business. That's number one.
Okay.
Number
You know,
two.
check it.
Number two. Ain't gonna be no raw dogging over here if we just smash it. I'm sorry. Cause I don't know if I'm the only one you're just smashing. And again, it's not really my business because we're not together. There's no C word, there's no commitment. But ain't no raw dogging over here. Huh? No. Because you can be like, well, you can have an open communication and all that or whatever. And you can say that you're not smashing nobody else.
Mm-hmm.
or that you're not feasting. And y'all know what I'm talking about. You're not feasting or eating or in you know having oral fixations with other people, but you could be a liar.
True.
Our relationship is just based off of smashing. So no raw dogging. And number three, like you said, number three. If you know that you are a person who cannot have sex without feelings, do not get in a smashing type of situation. Period. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's the top three. It's a lot of rules as far as I'm concerned. If I was ever gonna be like that, top three.
Top
But
three.
that first one is real important.
I think them solid, man. I think them three solid. Like,
Wait, I got a 3.8. I got a 3.8. I gotta say this one. Actually, it's a 1.8 because it's an addendum to one. Do
mm-hmm.
not ask me questions you don't want the answer to. Don't do that to yourself.
Don't do that
Okay?
to
Don't ask me questions you don't want the answer to. Are you the only one I'm smashing? So what if I say no? Are you in your feelings?
Now
Thought
you
you
out
can
here.
handle it.
Now
Now
you
you
out here
want to
dropping the ball.
now you want to do the comparison game. Don't ask questions you don't want the answer to. Because you might be good, but it may be somebody out there that's way better than you. I just couldn't get to them at that time. Hypothetically.
Damn, that's the
'Cause
hurt.
So don't ask questions you don't want the answer to. Mind your business.
Yeah,
That's
that's
it.
good. Though.
What's
That's
your top
good.
three, sir? I gotta hit these. I gotta hit these.
I mean, you hit the nail on the head. I ain't even got to even go down the list. Like that's a real like. I think number one for me is you know, if you can't separate the two, like you don't need it. Nah, you don't need it because I'm gonna tell you one thing about it. Toothpaste for sure. You gonna feel some things you might never felt before. Okay.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And if you can't just feel those things and be okay with what you feeling without getting
And then get
all
the fuck out.
warm and tingly all over when you ain't even inside of it no more, like it's just not gonna work out. Like it's just not gonna
He
work
said
out.
warm and tingly.
Yeah.
Listen,
When you sitting down at your desk at work and you get
have a
that
flashback.
flashback and you
Hey,
just
now
like,
flashbacks.
ooh, like, nah, man, you don't need to be out here. You don't need to be out here smashing. That's number one. Like, if you can't separate the two,
Listen, the only
just
thing I'm gonna disagree with what you said is the flashback part because some flashbacks ain't good flashbacks, but the flashbacks that are good, you don't have to be, in a relationship to have a good flashback. Sometimes flashbacks are all that sustain some people. They don't have nobody to smash. Or, or who they smashing ain't as good as the flashback.
true that, true that, true that. I can respect that.
Or sometimes you could just have an imagination. Never mind.
Yeah,
I'm gonna make a drink. Hold
yeah,
on. Gotta refill.
yeah.
Sometimes your imagination, your imagination does wonders.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
And it ain't even gotta be nobody you smash. You know what? I'm gonna tell y'all something. Don't judge me. I'm not saying this is me. I'm just saying don't judge me because of what I'm about to say. You can have as many sneaky links and smash sessions as you want in your imagination, and you don't have to deal with a person at all. Just I can be all in here.
Everybody ain't that skilled. Let me just be real with you.
I seen a video where the girl said, "My imagination is so good I can feel the breath on my neck." I'm a writer. I can imaginate a lot of things. Yes, I said imaginate. I have a way with words. I can think of a lot.
You can create a scene in your head.
Sure
Definitely.
can, whole movie, plot, Titanic, all of that. You can play Act 1, Act 2, Act 3.
Yeah.
And be good off the imagination. But other times,
Okay. So let me
not
go
yet.
to
Other times, I'm not gonna finish my sentence because there is no way to say that and be. She said, "I'm having." I'm jumping to the comments real quick. Somebody said, well, my cousin said, you don't need people sticking around falling in love. You
Mhm.
smash, you do what you told, and get the fuck out. Get out.
Yo, that's
She said,
crazy.
she said,
That's
I'm living on flashbacks right now. Me too.
I
That's what
had
I
a
said I
buddy
wasn't going to say. I'm not living on flashbacks. I'm living on.
on borrowed time. You living on borrowed time.
It ain't even borrowed time. I was going to say something else. If
Yeah.
y'all ain't never watched South Park, it's an episode. They had three, like a series on Imagination Land. And I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm living off of my imagination.
For sure.
Cause sometimes things we're not gonna do that either. I'm about to go finish. Moving right along. Moving right along. So I'm gonna go talk about the smashing. Because you said the three absolutely not. Let's talk about things that have to happen if we just smash them.
Okay.
Top three things that have to happen if you're just smashing. You go ahead, sir, Mr. Fedora.
Top three. If we
Uh-huh.
just smashing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, each person has to come. That's it for me.
Just
And
went
we
right
ain't
in there.
taking no
Just
time. I'm not here to play around, man.
period. Mhm.
I didn't come here for shits and giggles. Okay.
Period.
If I
Literally.
wanted that, I could have stayed at the house. So each person has to come. I think that also there should be there should be some
I got a little gas can. We make it down to the gas station. I got $1 to my name. I was trying to put 2 in there, 3 to get the car started. To keep get us where we're going. Mm-hmm. And I can bring some back up the ATM. I just got.
Oh, you good? Give me just a second. Sorry about that, y'all. I know we live, but my neighbor's at the door. I'll be right. I can hear you, sir. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so each person got to come. That's number one. I say number two is it has to be some type of lead up to some type of foreplay. Got to be something like you can't just jump in there and it ain't ready because then that's gonna be like a waste. And I feel like that it's got to be something in agreement or the time frame of when
Oh, you
the
good? Don't
two
worry.
split
Just come back.
ways. So like it's got to be an agreement. Like a buddy of mine I was hanging out with last night, he was saying like if you just smashing or whatever, or when he was in that place, like 4 o'clock between 4 and 5 a.m., like you gotta see the door. Like that's just like the hours, the time frame of the hours of, if you smashing, like, you come through after anytime after 10 and, well, you got to be out before the sun ups, so between 4 a.m. 5 a.m., like you gotta be out the door. You know what I'm saying? So I think like if you just smashing, those are the three. Like I think each person got to come, or we just wasted time. I feel like there should be a time frame agreed upon when it's gonna end, like what time you leave, and I think that there has to be some agreed upon level of foreplay or build up to the actual intercourse.
Let me tell you something. let's talk about all his rules. I agree with all his rules, but I'm like an old lady on the inside. Like I'll go out at night and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Even before we was in the panoramic or pandemic, Panamera, I'm old in the inside. Like I have the mentality that I'm gonna do this. I'm a party, but she gets sleepy by 11:30, 12 o'clock. I
Okay.
want to, I want to go to bed. However,
Mm-hmm.
I will wake up for that. I'm just saying, if we
That's
have
on
that type of
you.
arrangement. Um, everybody has to come, yes, because everybody came here, so everybody needs to come here. You understand what I'm saying?
Correct.
We, what are we doing this for? Now, there are a select few times where some women that I know, and I will not say whether I'm included in these group of ladies or not, because again, that is a lot of my business that would potentially be told. It's only satisfying to me if the experience itself is satisfying and I don't come. But I gotta like you for real, to even be
Okay with
like, it
that.
gotta be one of them situations where it's like, I'm happy that it's happening with you because it's you. We ain't reached that
Mm,
level if we just smash
mm.
it.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You ain't finna slide that in here like that and just keep moving on. You is not finna do that. Because what you said right now, what you just said, you already done blurred the lines up here, baby girl. If I'm just happy that it's happening with you,
It's the person. But that never happens ain't never happened outside of a relationship. I will say that.
okay.
Wait, let me not lie. Let me think. There's never happened outside of having feelings or the L word being involved. I'll say that. That's the truth. Because if I love you, then I'm just happy to be in this moment with you and it feels good. Now, let's about the coming part. We both have to do that. How long it takes for that to happen does not matter to me. As long as everybody has to come. Everybody has to come. Everybody. And if you're done. So, let me watch my words for my monetization. If you're done
Mm-hmm.
and I clearly ain't done, ain't had enough time to be done,
It's
then
time to go to
you
work.
are not finished.
It's time to go to work.
You
Mm-hmm.
got to do something. You have
Yeah.
to use other parts of your body to do other things to
I
other
think
parts
that's
of my body.
I think that's
Because,
absolutely correct.
because,
Some people just
because,
good at what they do.
I, and the foreplay, let me tell you something. Some of us may already be turned on, but you still need to do some warming up.
Come on now.
Let me give you an example. I live in Michigan. It gets cold. It's 32 degrees outside. If I warm the car up for 10 minutes, it'll be a little warmer and I can drive, but it's still a little chilly. But if I warm it up for 15 to 20 minutes and turn the seat warmer on and clean the car off first, it's a much easier,
Drive.
warmer drive. I'm just saying, it's an easier drive. I might can handle the road. Never mind. No, I'm gonna say I might can handle the roads a little bit better if if I'm relaxed, I'm warm. Because when you cold and you're not warmed up all the way,
Mm-hmm.
you take away from the whole experience because you're upset because you feel like what you did was adequate enough. No, like Sir Elgin said, you have to have an agreed upon amount of foreplay. And you have to have the same definition of foreplay.
Mm-hmm.
Because doing something for a couple seconds is not, it's not, it's not. And you have to know what you're doing. Mine would be you have to know what you're doing when it comes to foreplay. I'm gonna add the agreed upon the time amount, but there got to be some. It has to be. It ain't just, oh yeah, we coming here just to smash. No, that's true, but no. And I'm gonna throw this in here, man. I want you to stop blaming women for not being turned on or not moisturized enough. I'm gonna say that when something happens, did you do anything to help with said moisturization? What did you do? What did you do? How long did you do it?
Said
What
more.
parts were you doing it to? Because stop blaming women just for that. Because yeah, we like you. Yeah, we be turned on. But that doesn't mean some people, some people's parts ain't the same as other people's parts.
That's not just what's gonna get the waterfalls falling, basically.
Some people's parts may need extra, I don't want to use that word, extra motivation because we ain't all built the same.
Extra TLC.
Some of y'all, that will sound like slut shaming. Some of y'all parts are easy access, meaning it's easier for things to happen there. Some of us, what the fuck did I say us? Jesus. Some women, because I need to stop drinking. Some women, they have the same parts as everybody else, but um they don't invite everybody over all the time. So
I can get with that.
you see where I'm going. If y'all smart, y'all figure out what I'm saying. So there has to be foreplay. Um, you need to find out what type of foreplay that person likes. Because not everybody, like I was just saying, it's built the same. You can't just be like, oh, you just like this. I do this to everybody.
Nah.
No. And finding out what the person likes in the bedroom or experimenting and stuff, you can do that whether you smashing or making love. Because I feel like if we smashing, then it needs to be good. It's a learning curve. But we shouldn't be on the 12th smash session and you still, I'm not smashing you no more after a certain point. If you can't get right, why the ends ain't meeting?
Oh,
Why
so
it never really quite.
so that leads to a great question.
Mm-hmm. I'm scared of this question because you laughed first.
So how many opportunities that
Mm.
someone that you just smashed have to get right? And
Are
if
we
you need
just
a definition,
smashing?
yeah, is this somebody you just smashed?
Just smashing.
Just smash it. How many opportunities they get to get right? And do you need a definition of what I mean by get right?
No, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay. All right.
Do I need a definition?
How
No.
many opportunities do they have
If we're just smashing
to smash?
and there ain't no feelings involved,
Nothing involved.
twice.
Okay. I think that's realistic and fair.
Twice.
Yeah, you waste my time twice. I
Because,
don't block a lot of people, but you
because
this close to the block list.
listen, I'm just about to say, because if we're just smashing, um, and it's not something I would normally do, and then I choose you or decide on you, I go through this whole thought process of we're gonna do this, okay, I'm gonna do this. I have talked myself into this. And it's not it's never really quite it
Yeah,
don't
it
talking
don't.
myself into it a second time is going to be extremely hard. And
Mm-hmm.
if I do that a second, fool me once,
Shame on.
shame on you. Fool me twice.
Uh-huh.
Fool me can't get fooled again. I'm not doing that.
Correct.
So if we just
Correct.
smashing, I don't even know if I did my other two for that question. That has to happen when we smash. Both have to come agreed upon foreplay. Far as the time limit,
Come on
um,
now, don't let me down. I feel like you're finna let me down. Don't let me down. Um, I'm listening.
don't do. Listen, hold on.
Hold on.
These are if we just smash it, right?
Yeah.
It depends on where we're smashing. If we smashing at my house, you can take a little nap, but you gotta leave before the sun come up.
Yeah, that was said
Cause
between 4 and 5.
almost messed myself up. We might have worn each other out. We might be tired. We might have the jelly legs. I'm going to sleep. So you ain't no cuddling if we just smash it either. I'm sorry. I had to throw that out there. We're not doing that. You can get out. If it's just smashing. Everybody heard me say this before. I like to be bothered when I'm bothered, and other than that,
I don't like
the
it.
placemat at my new place outside. Now I keep saying placemat. The welcome mat ain't even welcome it. It says, "Did you call first?" That's the type of energy.
Facts. Facts.
If we at your house, I will get up and clean myself up and leave. I'm not even gonna ask. I wouldn't wait to be asked what you about to do because I feel like if I ever was asked that phrase, I would go off. I've
What
never
you
been
about
asked
to
that
do?
phrase before, so I don't want it to happen. So we're not gonna do that. Um uh if we're smashing at a central location, like a hotel room or something, whoever paid for the room can stay in the room. And I'm a lady. I'm not paying for the room. I ain't even giving you half of it. So I'm just saying. I know we talk about smashing the hotel rooms. This is
So
all
wait a minute.
hypothetical.
Wait a minute.
And I'm not even giving you no money on it.
Minus time out. Flag on the play. So you telling me that you ain't even willing to chip on the room.
No.
But I'm saying though, and I'm gonna say something before I say what I'm about to say.
Let me take a sip.
Me personally, type of man that I am, I do agree with that the man should get the room. The compensation of the room should fall on the man. I do agree with that point. But my thing is, if this man putting in work, okay, putting in work, you telling me you ain't even gonna be like, you know what I'm saying? How much it cost? Like, let me give you half because you put in work.
Let me tell you why. I don't know if I'm smashing you again. If this is the first time we smashing, I don't know if I'm gonna smash you again after that.
I
Now,
ain't saying the first time, but okay. So let's just say, right?
if we
Yeah,
habitual smashers,
yeah. Let's say it's like your
I
fourth,
might
fifth time.
we can start taking turns. But the first couple of times, I'm not paying for nothing. I might not even like this for real. So that way, because what if I put in on something and it's trash? Like, how can I? Now I done gave myself to you. It's true. So I got to deal with that mental thing. I done talked myself into giving up the goods. And I done put it, so I done paid for trash.
Nah, I think that
See,
definitely it falls on the man in the beginning. But
I'm a lady.
I think that if the man is putting in work and he's earning that fourth, fifth, sixth time, like, come on now. And
If we make it to a four, if we make it to the second time,
it's not even a necessity thing. I just think it's like, I just think it's common courtesy. Like, if
we got to make it to that. You
if
got to make it there.
the man making that thing, like, come on now.
Cause she making that thing too. You ain't in the room by yourself.
Well, yeah, you ain't in the room by yourself.
And then I gotta leave. Cause that's why I said whoever pays for the room. Whoever pays for the room.
You say I may pay if I.
What? She said, I may pay for the room if I plan on staying and he's leaving. If it's a hot tub, I'm gonna need some meat. Listen, if I plan on staying, because if I put some money in on the room, I'm not leaving. Because I paid for this too. We better get a double bed or something. I'm not leaving.
A
And then we not.
double bed. Wait a minute. Now that's just you just inviting somebody to stay. Talking about a double bed.
No,
Because
I'm gonna sleep in one bed and you can sleep in the other.
yeah,
That's
but
what I
you invited
mean.
them to stay.
If I put some money in on this, I'm sleeping here. Cause you think your thing, my thing, ain't no cuddling, so I'm gonna go over here, go to sleep. I'm just saying. You got to really like somebody to want to sleep in the same space as them. But then again, I've been sleeping in the bed by myself for 4 years, so I love it. So that's different. I can be diagonal, sideways, ain't nobody on me, it ain't hot. But
Mm-hmm.
I say that because I'm single. If it was somebody I actually want to sleep next to, cool. But if we just had, I don't know how you sleep. I don't know if you snore, fart, none of that in your sleep. I don't know if you grind your teeth, drool. Mm-mm. But if I put in on the room on the first time, I'm staying here. I'm just saying, I'm staying here. I put in on this. I'm definitely now. If it's trash, I leave and I go to the front, and I will leave. And not only will I leave, I won't wait for nobody to put their clothes. I'll put my clothes will still be on, and you still recovering. I'm leaving, and then when I get in the car, I'm calling the bank to dispute the charges on my card because we're not about to do this.
Yo, you hell.
Listen, we ain't wasted, so I done wasted pussy. I can't get that back. I
I don't
can't
waste
get it.
your time.
And now I'm gonna waste money. We're not doing all three.
Not the
We can't.
trifecta. We're
We're
not
not
doing
wasting
for the
every. Nah, bruh. If I put in on this room and we just smashing
trifecta.
and it's trash, I want my money back. I can't ask for the coochie back. I can't ask for the coochie back. But if it's a habitual smash,
Mm-hmm.
and we make plans,
Okay, so let me ask you this, right?
no
You
Lord,
use
your
the word
question.
you use the word habitual smash, right? So say this,
Mhm,
you smash on the regular, right?
mhm.
And say they not up to par this time.
They what?
They not up to par this time. Like they have an off night. The D ain't swinging like it normally swing.
I'm about to say, what's the off night? How is it off? Why
They
is it off?
they they effort ain't there.
Mm,
They're like they mind somewhere else, but they body with you. It
hmm
ain't it ain't it ain't hitting like it normally hit.
The thing ain't thinking.
You address it or you just
Hell yeah, I'm address it. Are you all right? Just because we smash it, that don't mean I don't give a damn about you.
mm-hmm.
Okay. Because there's a fine line between caring and being empathetic versus having feelings. But it's
Mm-hmm.
a fine line. I'm like, you good, you straight? Because we don't have to do this. If you're not in the mood to do it, excuse me, and it's our usual smash appointment. If
Mm-hmm.
you're not feeling it, you can cancel. I won't feel no type of way if you don't want to do it. We don't have to do it this time because I want a game every time.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So if
You got
we, because
A1.
what's the point
There.
of smashing? Like I would give my partner or somebody I was in a relationship or committed to more leeway with the you having a bad day.
Mm-hmm.
Say we cool. Cause then I can be like, babe, let's talk. If we just smashing, I give a fuck about your day, but I don't. But I'm not an asshole. I'm not an asshole. So I can be like, you're not feeling it. That's cool. We don't have to do that because I want somebody to be into it with me because I'm into it. I don't want to be in the bedroom with somebody and they're not feeling it as much as I'm feeling it. Then that's going to turn me off because I don't want to make you feel like you have to do it because this is what we do. That don't.
Yeah.
So if you're not feeling it, just say you're not feeling it, or I'll ask you. You can be honest. Cool. Because whether you smashing or making love to somebody, whether you committed or having casual sex, everybody still need to be honest because it's bodily fluids and body parts and everything going on. So you still need to be honest about how you feeling. If you're not feeling it, we don't have to do this today. We don't have to do this today. Don't it's cool. It's okay. Don't ever feel like because you smash somebody you have to. No, if I don't want to, I don't feel like it.
Not today.
Oh, that just made me think of something else. If we're just smashing the pussy, let me stop cursing using the vagina
Mm-hmm.
is not on demand. I'm sorry, it's just an appointment only.
Okay.
On demand coochie comes with commitment. Smashing coochie and smashing penis is by appointment only. That's it. And you're not guaranteed an appointment. When I can. Versus me in a relationship feeling like
When the
I
schedule.
want to do this apart. Let me see if I can pinch. Let me see if I can. I ain't free that day. Let me see. Can you do Tuesday? No. Hey, because you're just smashing. And like you said, you don't ever know if somebody just smashing just you or another person for real, for real.
Mm-hmm.
So no, no, no.
So let me
Mm-mm.
ask you this:
Oh Lord.
have you ever declined an appointment just because? Meaning you was free, you could have went, you could have met up, but just because you wanted basically for the person to understand that it was by appointment only.
How do I answer this question without telling my business?
Listen,
I'm grown.
you grown. Whoever you declined the appointment for is grown. So if they feelings get hurt, they need to grow up.
It was very, very, very long ago. Long ago in the before time.
Uh
Another South Pop reference, but anyway. Yes. Just because um it was frequent and I'm just like I didn't want the person to feel like I owed you anything. Because every time I give you anything from me, it's a gift. I don't
huh.
give a damn if it's just smashing or we're in a relationship or not, but this is a gift. Okay. I don't have to do anything, but I don't, and then they got upset. Well, usually, see, you getting into the terms like usual. What do you mean usually? Usually, ma'am. This is how long it was ago. It was a ma'am, ma'am. Usually, who are you? Usually. So that right there, when I heard that word and that terminology, oh, so you think that just because we do this on occasion
I owe
and
you.
we I don't have to do it any time that I do it. But sometimes people forget that. So yeah. What about you, sir?
I think men and women should do that. It keep
hmm
people humble.
I didn't ask if. I said have you. I'm asking the same question you asked. Have you declined? Because
Yeah,
just
more
because.
than one.
Because I don't want maybe I'm being biased because I'm divorced, but I just feel like I don't want anybody to feel like they own me or that I belong to them, period. But I definitely don't want to feel like if we're not in a relationship. Like I don't owe you anything.
Mm-hmm.
At any moment I can decide not to care anymore.
True that.
So no. Mm-mm. What about I know the answer to this for myself. In a relationship, have you ever done that?
What, decline sex?
Yes. Just because. This answer is taking a long time to come out.
Yeah.
You didn't want to say that.
Yeah, it's a lot behind that though. It's a
I
lot behind
we
that.
can talk about that later, cause y'all nosy.
I mean, I'm gonna put it like this: when you in a committed relationship, when you married, or when you in a committed relationship, there's a lot that goes on outside of your house
Mhm.
that sometimes you bring back home
Mhm.
inadvertently. You know, you
Mhm.
clock out, you drive home, you do your best to leave work at work, or you do your best to disconnect from life when you go inside and connect with your partner. And sometimes you can't, sometimes you don't.
Mhm.
Sometimes your partner may be the reason that you turn it down.
Whew.
They don't even realize that they're the reason, or they're not accepting
Mhm.
the fact that they're the reason that you turned it down.
Mhm.
So I think that, you know, it's realistic to turn down sex. Like, it's realistic. Like, if you
Mhm.
can't, then you might need to spend some time in the mirror and find out why. But it's okay if you turn down sex.
And as a woman who's been married and is divorced, let me tell you, yeah, it's been times where so much stuff is going on in my head from work or the day. Because at one point I was working two jobs and going to school Monday through Thursday, and I worked 7 days a week. And it would be like, oh, you no, I'm not in the mood. I'm not in the mood to life right now. Like, I want to go to bed. My feet hurt. I'm tired. And instead of one or the other person putting in more initiative to make me be relaxed or to get me to be, your partner is not automatically turned on because you were turned on. Because you might have been thinking about something else all day, but I might be having a day from hell once we
Mm,
meet up. So my mind is nowhere near.
yeah, yeah.
Now, in a relationship, has sex been turned down often? No, but it has happened in the relationship. But I will
What,
say I've never been in a relationship where the other person made me feel like a jackass because I didn't want to.
what equates to often in your opinion? So let's
Turn
just
it down often?
yeah. So let's just say you take 10 attempts. How many turned down attempts equates to often?
Five, more than half. Well, six was more than half.
I can't agree with that shit.
What's often? What's often to
Often is 3 out of 10.
you?
If we married, often is 3 out of 10. One time out of 10, okay. 2 times out of 10, okay.
So
Three out of
30%,
10,
70% of the
30%,
time.
30%,
Like, how long is
30%.
so?
You gotta
Ooh,
think about it.
10 out of 10,
If
right? You said
you,
10 out of 10.
yeah, if I put it in a sports relationship type of thing, you put it to you like this.
He sat up.
In baseball, you go up to plate 10 times, you hit 3 home runs out of 10, they gonna
Hmm.
pay you some good money.
This ain't, but okay.
Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. In basketball, you shoot 3 corners.
Uh-huh.
You make 3 out of 10
Uh-huh.
consistently. They
Hmm.
gonna pay you some good money.
Okay.
So you telling me that don't equate to 3 out of 10 being too much?
If you get turned down
Three
six
times.
out of
Three
10,
times. 3 times, not six. 3 times.
that's often.
Yeah, that's often.
I'm not thinking, like, if I think of a span of 10 days, that's often to me. That- 3 days out of 10 days would be often. But if it's
It's the
10,
same. It's the same
you
reality. You can't say
gotta
three
think.
days out of 10 and then 3 out of 10 is not.
I'm thinking about how much love making would be had in a certain time period.
Okay. So in a 30-day time frame, right?
Hmm.
You think you've had 10 attempts in a 30-day time frame?
Of course, it would
Okay.
be in a 30-day time frame. It's probably been 26 attempts.
Okay. So
So six
in a
out of
month,
those 26 attempts, that's not that many to me. 6 out of the 26 attempts. What are we doing? We're doing math. 6. So if I think of it like that, it's not that many. Your way sounds like a lot. That
Yeah.
sounds that sounds like a lot of
Listen,
turning down. But I'm thinking of how often lovemaking would be had versus
I
the
still think
time
your 30
turned.
day comparison is a lot too. 26 out of 30 days.
No, 26 out of 30 days
Uh,
where there is the where there you not turned down. Is what I mean. Like,
uh,
so you know what I'm saying? So that's not a lot to me. Well, 24 I meant because I said 6 at just a little over half. So 6. So 6 days out of 30 days you're turned down. That's what I meant to say. So the other 24 or 25, which is 31 days in the month, it's hit. That's not that bad. That's like one a week because it's 5 to 6 weeks in 4 to 5 weeks in a month. Once out of the week, you get told no, right?
yeah, that's a little bit more than what you said.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not that bad. That's not that bad. That's not that bad. Because
Okay.
then that's a whole nother episode. That's this. Mm, that's another episode I got coming out soon called "Sex Drives and Lies," because y'all be lying, women and men, about their sex drive and their sexual prowess, and I can go for this long, and I can go for that long. I want to do it this many times. You're liars. You're lying. You're lying. Just like last question of tonight, I'm gonna ask for the smashing versus making love, and it's gonna segue us right into sex drives and lives and lies. Is there a time difference on how long you make love versus how long you smash? Is there a time difference? So say sexual
Overall,
smashing, yes,
time?
smashing per session. Smashing is supposed to take this long. Making love supposed to take this long. Is there a difference between the two?
Mm, I think that's a little bit hard to answer, and I'll say why. Because I think, like, you know, if you're having a session, you know,
Mm-hmm.
um,
And I
and
said session for a reason. If y'all grown, y'all know why I said session.
if you're having a session and say the session goes for about a little over an hour, right?
Mm-hmm.
In that time frame, you could have had 30 minutes of smashing,
Mm-hmm.
you know, 10, 15 minutes of love making,
Mm-hmm.
and, you know, some
Recuperate. Okay.
recuperate time, I need 2 minutes type stuff, give me 2 minutes, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Let me
think,
get a snack and some Gatorade.
yeah,
Just stuff like that.
a little water.
Nah.
But,
Electrolytes.
some people, they don't need no beverages. You put it like that. You give them a beverage, i.e. some water, that's the worst thing you did. You might want to leave me parched. That's all I'm gonna say. You might want to leave a nigga over here parched. Cause you give me some of that water,
Famished.
you give me some of that
Famished.
water, that boy go from 80% charge right back to 100 with that water. So you might want to just let me.
Ladies,
Might
I'm
want
gonna
to let me
tell you now. Do not seek him out. Do not jump in his inbox. Don't do that. Cause you're nasty and I see you thinking. Cut it out. Cause what he just said. Okay. Um, I feel like it depends on the people and the situation and the chemistry because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes for with the scheduled smashing sessions, I feel like it's going to be stuff might go on a little bit longer just because it's a scheduled session,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And you some people want to try to get a lot done in a long time frame or a lot done in a shorter time frame. So that's all variable. When you making love, for some people, making love inevitably turns into smashing because it's some sorts of smashing that I believe cannot be had unless there's a certain level of trust.
True.
Because some people like certain things, and those certain things will not be had with somebody you just smashing. We gotta at least be friends with benefits or something to do some of the things.
That you asking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you're not about to go tell people that certain people like this or they like that.
You ain't finna tell
No.
nobody a motherfucking thing.
Hello. So I gotta trust you to believe that you won't.
That's the worst thing in the world, boy.
Ooh, child. Now you
So
got people looking at you. You don't know why they looking at you.
yeah, you know why they looking at you because you don't put two and two together. You know that's a homegirl and not a homegirl side eyeing you, looking you up and down.
Or the homeboy.
Now all of a sudden you got something to say when you see this person. Now you want to speak. You ain't been speaking to me all this time.
Now you friend. Now you
Now
friendly.
you
Oh, I thought
friendly.
you didn't. I thought you didn't like me.
Now you friendly.
You don't know why he like that fat bitch. I just had a flashback. I'm sorry. Exact words. That was the exact words that was. You don't know why. Cause I'm dope as. Anyway, that's beside the point. But with in the committed relationship, I've. Oh, I said that was the last question, but it's really the last question. Last question for real, y'all. Last question, then we gotta go. Last question of the night is: do you think things are freakier when you just smashing, or when there's some sort of commitment?
Mm. I say, previously being married, that it shouldn't be, but most times it is, and I
It is.
think that
It is what it is. Freakier when you
it's
just
a little bit
smashing.
more freakier when you're just smashing. But I
Mm,
won't say freakier. I just say it's a little bit more spontaneous and a little
mm,
bit more a little bit more build up to it because
mm,
it's just the nature of just smashing. You know,
mm, mm,
um,
mm.
but I think that inside of a relationship or marriage, you can create that same level of spontaneity and
Got.
chemistry and connection. It takes work, it takes openness, and it
Mm,
takes a willing to
mm,
want to be there. Um,
Trust too.
that
Trust.
that too.
He said openness and communication. For y'all who didn't understand what he said about open communication, you got to talk. You also gonna have to be open to the fact, as being previously married as well, that I might stop saying I. Your partner might sell you something that they like, and it is way past the type of stuff you like. You gotta
Hmm.
be open. Some of this stuff I feel like I should have talked about before y'all got married, but I digress. Open. And don't make your partner feel some type of way about what it is they like, whether you do it or not. Okay,
Hmm.
don't judge. Um, I feel like, hmm, when okay, let me word this correctly. Okay, to not put nobody on blast. All right, hello.
Just say it.
In committed relationships,
Hmm.
I've had where things were better in my mind, far as the level of, I don't want to call it freakiness, the openness. Let's say openness. And certain things in the relationship were better once I was in a certain committed relationship because we talked about what it is, this, that, and the third. Other relationships after that, it was kind of like we talking about what works and what doesn't work in the bedroom. But ain't nobody listening to me.
Mm-hmm.
You're satisfied, but I'm not. And the in my past, in the instances where I was in a situationship when we was just smashing, for both of those instances, I felt like I reached a point where I was just like, it got old because again, there was no openness. If we smashing and it just, I don't want to ever get to the point where I'm having sex and it feel like it's something to do.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, what else is we doing? And these two people in question both stated that they felt like because we were just smashing at the time that we didn't need to reach another plateau with it. We didn't need to do it a different way. We didn't need, and I'm just like, then what is we smashing for? Like,
Yeah, like what we
like I
doing?
said, I needed to be a certain level every single time. I don't want to peak. I don't want to peak. I don't want no sexual experience I'm having with anybody um routinely to hit a peak. Like that's it. That's as far as we going. Because I'd rather just not have sex then.
Yeah.
So, but this has been a very interesting episode, which I know it was going to be. The next episode, y'all gonna see if I'm going to start making promises and keeping them. Next Saturday, we're going to be talking about sex drives and lies. So y'all make sure y'all tune into that. It may or may not be live. Who knows? Y'all find out soon enough. But this again is Queen's Realm Podcast. And this is Smashing versus Making Love Part 2. Part 2. Um, thank you so much, Mr. Executive L, for being a part of today's episode. Shout out to everybody who tuned in live and everybody who's going to watch this later. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Go ahead and ding that notification bell so you'll be notified next time I go live and next time there's a new video. Because y'all don't want to miss this series about the sex and the relations, the intercourse. Because I feel like this is going to be another sexual education for a lot of people, and they need to watch it. And in the words of my big sister, life is too short for bad sex. So make sure y'all tune in for more of this. And if you're sensitive, remember we grown.
Grown.
And if you're still a virgin or you under 18, you don't need to be worried about what I'm talking about anyway. Okay. Anyway, peoples, I love y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in, and we out. Good night, goodbye, arrivederci, auf Wiedersehen. So long and farewell. So long and